the candles glow. Light a candle, bring the light of joy to those you know. Lest the candles, oh so bright, on these very special nights, Fatzivanu lechaliknel shelech Hanukkah. Light a candle for Hanukkah, let the candles glow. Light a candle, bring the light of joy to those you know. Lest the candles, oh so bright, on these very special nights, Fatzivanu lechaliknel shelech Hanukkah. Light another candle, let the candle shine. The Maccabees have shown us miracles are yours and mine. What a very pretty sight. We'll light candles for 8 nights. Fatzivanu lechaliknel shelech Hanukkah. Light a candle for Hanukkah. Light a candle for Hanukkah. Come on, everyone, sing along. Light a candle for Hanukkah. Light a candle for Hanukkah. Light a candle for Hanukkah. Light a candle for Hanukkah.
Well, what a great start. But nobody was dancing. Half you weren't moving. The band will be very disappointed, and so will the new rabbi, that's me, Danny Richard Southgate, if we don't start moving. I don't mean moving out this building, nor do I mean moving to new employment. I just mean let's get us moving and celebrate Hanukkah. Hanukkah this evening, we're in our 80th anniversary at Southgate Progressive Synagogue. We're being streamlined to Liberal Judaism, celebrating its 120th anniversary. And at some point in the evening, we will be joined by the York Liberal community. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. Good, keep going, keep going. I just want to remind you the fire exits are out that way should anything happen, but it won't. We've got the service is going to only be about an hour. Then we're going to have some food, and the band will have hopefully a little rest, and then they're going to entertain us more. Aren't you? All right. Right, they want overtime, so let's get a collection going now. You know them anyway. They're the Friday night rock service band, and they're not here on Friday night. They're here for first night Hanukkah. Let us rededicate this place. Remember the family that were so involved with this band, and their friends and family are here, and all of us at Southgate. We welcome those at Liberal Judaism. Let's get rocking.
Bishnotecha Yisrael, Bishnotecha Yisrael, Vani Baruch Ashtacha, Ahavo Beistecha, Eshtakabe, El Heichal Kadshecha, B'yiratecha, El Heichal Kadshecha, B'yiratecha. Bishnotecha Yisrael, Vani Baruch Ashtacha, Avo Beisecha, Eshtakabe, El Heichal Kadshecha, B'yiratecha, El Heichal Kadshecha, B'yiratecha. Bishnotecha Yisrael, Vani Baruch Ashtacha, Ahavo Beisecha, Eshtakabe, El Heichal Kadshecha, B'yiratecha, El Heichal Kadshecha, B'yiratecha.
I'll start again. Long, long ago, a haughty tyrant tried to force our ancestors to give up their beliefs and customs. If he had succeeded, our people and our faith would have perished, and we would not be here today. But with amazing courage, first a few, then more, then still more, resisted the oppressor. After 3 years of struggle, the temple was rededicated. The flame of our faith, so nearly extinguished, was rekindled, and this festival of dedication was instituted. May it be a happy time of thanksgiving and rededication for us and for all our brothers and sisters of the house of Israel.
השרת מעליון ממלך מלאכי המלאים הקדוש ברוך הוא בהם לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי יום ממלך מלאכי המלאים הקדוש ברוך הוא בהוני לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי יום ממלך מלאכי המלאים הקדוש ברוך הוא צאתם לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי יום ממלך מלאכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא צאתם לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי יום ממלך מלאכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא בהם לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי יום ממלך מלאכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא בהם לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי יום ממלך מלאכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא הקדוש ברוך הוא הקדוש ברוך הוא הקדוש
We thank you, O God, for the wonders and deliverances you performed for our ancestors in days of old at this season. In the days of Mattathias the Hasmonean and his sons, the oppressive Greek Empire rose up against your people Israel, determined to make them forget your law and to turn them away from obedience of your will. But in your abundant mercy, you stood by their sides in their time of trouble. Therefore, the weak defeated the strong, the few prevailed over the many, and the righteous were triumphant. Then your children returned to your house to purify your sanctuary and rekindle its lights. And they appointed these 8 days of celebration to give thanks and to praise your great name.
Then the king wrote to his whole realm that all should be one people and that all should give up their own customs and that
When the Archbishop has looked at our student rabbi vote person was meant to come up again, whether she currently stopped half the underground in London. So we're delighted to have our Vice Chair, Sean Block, is going to be doing the blessings as we like the first candidate lead for. So I'll hand over to her.
Jack, this is I can assure you, when I take my hand to my ass,
wooden one with the Jewish community in the medieval period.
Chanukah is going to write the lessons, and we're honored to have him with heritage and your secretary writing of the first 500 writing.
And Liberal Judaism has reinvigorated Jewish life in York. York has 100 members, community there. With a student rabbi who's got COVID, and a rabbi who's got COVID.
Let's show you turn number, something or make us very what one has to take it to Let's try to share from God, sovereign of all, of what is in for ancestors, today or the season.
Of the few over the many, the defeat of oppression, and the reinvigoration of Jewish life.
Thank you. I wanted to be invited to say a few words on behalf of the Liturgical. Not bear with me, can't so our involvement tonight is not only to celebrate this fantastic celebration of Hanukkah, but also to highlight our commitment to preventing harm caused by hate crime, but also to learn about the lessons from the past to ensure that the present and the future is better for everyone. As a law enforcement officer, I've reflected on the terrible crimes that have been committed on the 16th of March, 1119. This
is York's Police Borough Commander.
And I asked the question, why didn't those lawkeepers responsible for preventing harm happening to our Jewish community in York that night act in force of law against the mob outside? And as they had done across England. And I believe it was because those responsible for upholding the law and protecting the vulnerable Jewish community got carried away with the hatred and ultimately which led to the death and the tragic death of the young children, women and men from the Jewish community. Can it happen again? Yes, it can. And it's happened many times across this world. Hateful crimes have been committed and they'll continue to be committed. It is all easy to see differences between us and exclude any group for their faith, their beliefs, their values, to isolate them and to ultimately hold them responsible for the ills of the world and to allow the hatred to grow and ultimately justify action of violence. What are the lessons of the past that will allow us to prevent such terrible crimes in the present and the future? Now, I found in Holy Scriptures there are several references to loving your neighbour as yourself. For me, as a police officer, that means looking after the well-being of all the people I come to meet throughout my service, all the random individuals who I come to see in my life, and seeking out all the similarities between us. And that makes us good humans. Understand and accept that we will have differences between us and ultimately to do no harm to them. I also think it is about judgment, and I endeavour to judge others their beliefs, their perceived flaws, in the same way I want my beliefs, my flaws, to be judged with compassionate and understanding. And that is why we are here tonight, in love and the light of peace. Thank you from the bottom of my heart and a representative of North Yorkshire Police for attending. This means so much to us as a police service, as your police, in delivering Hanukkah to you. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Brad, for those brilliant words. The whole point is we work together and have a wonderful reflection of that. As chair of York Liberal Jewish community, I wanted to say a few words about ourselves and what it's like to be living Jews in York today. The massacre of the Jews in 1190 at Clifford's Tower is a dark time in the history of the Jews of York. But Hanukkah is a Jewish festival of light, celebrating our freedom after the overthrowing of the Syrian oppressors and the recleansing of our temple in 165 BCE. We stand here at Clifford's Tower today, yet again in a world where another country, Ukraine, led by another Jewish leader, is fighting to throw off oppressors and for freedom, and to remember to the atrocities that once took place at this very spot, to shine the Hanukkah lights on the darkness around us, and to pray for a better world. We have long heard that following the Clifford's Tower massacre, there was a rabbinic edict that the Jews should not sleep within York City's walls, but no evidence of that exists. Jews have been living in this beautiful city over many centuries and been an integral part of its life and services throughout. 21st century York is a world away from that of the 12th century, obviously. York Liberal Jewish community has grown and flourished since its formal inception in 2014. And we are proud that we are considered an integral part of the city's life and shared values. This is our third Hanukkah lighting with City of York Council Civics Party, following that in 2015 at the Guildhall, and then again last year, as we've said, within the Castle Museum as part of our joint York's Jewish Story exhibition. And we are delighted, as we said, to welcome the Deputy Lord Mayor today. And we were delighted to join North Yorkshire Police at their Hanukkah lighting outside afterwards last year too. Our relationship has also developed and flourished over many years with York Minster, with whom we are actively involved in the annual 600 Candles Holocaust Memorial event in the Minster Chapter House. We thank you, Canon Maggie, and your colleagues for our increasing collaboration and involvement with you and in the services at York Minster. And of course to you, Archbishop, for our inclusion in the Queen's Jubilee event as one of the city's faith leaders, together with our York Interfaith Group friends. Thank you too for joining us today and for sharing this historic moment with us. We all came together again when our late Queen sadly passed, and then it again stood together again when our new King and his Queen Consort visited to unveil our statue on the Minster's front, where she will always watch over her city and its people. We welcome the fact that our new Sovereign King Charles describes his role as defender of faith rather than of the faith, and his intention to protect the diversity of religion in Britain today. For all of these and many other events, North Yorkshire Police has looked after us all. And they also take care of YLJC as part of their care for the wider community throughout the year. And again, thank you to you for your ongoing work and support. And we are delighted to join you today to celebrate Hanukkah and the bringing of light to us all. Finally, I would like to say that YLJC has been delighted to have worked over many years with English Heritage on the planning and executing the new development here at Clifford's Tower, helping to interpret the Jewish history of this site. We all celebrated the reopening in April, and we thank you especially for inviting us to share your building for this historic event today. So why is today such a historic day in what has been a truly momentous year? The first lighting of a Chanukah inside Clifford's Tower, some 832 years after the massacre, is a symbol of unity and healing and a light of peace in our world. We stand here together today, including YLJC and our proud wider Yorkshire Jews, welcoming those of all faiths and none to this city of sanctuary. Let us light let the light of Chanukah candles tonight help to heal all wounds. The Hebrew word shalom means peace, harmony, wholesomeness, completeness, welfare, and tranquility. On Hanukkah, we say Hanukkah Sameach and Chag Urim Sameach, which means Happy Festival of Lights. On this occasion, let's also turn to each other and say Shalom Aleichem, which means peace be upon you. Lastly but not least, and dare I say the most important, I'm going to offend somebody here, can I welcome our English Heritage host, Andrea Selly, who is the Territory Director for the North, to her own building, and thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Lillian, and good evening, everyone. Thank you. Can you hear me all right? Okay. Well, thank you for inviting me to share this special occasion with you tonight. Lillian, it's a secure building. English Heritage cares for it, but it belongs to everybody. As many of you will know, Clifford's Tower in place for the last couple of years. We were carrying out extensive conservation work to the significant monument. Obviously, we had a pandemic as well, but we also...
And every one of them abandons the religion of their ancestors, I and my sons and brothers will continue to live by the covenant of our ancestors. Then Mattathias cried out in the town with a loud voice, "Let everyone who is zealous for the Torah and stands by the covenant follow me."
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kuvod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kuvod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי בצער היום על לבביך לילה לילה ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם ושבתך בבית דרך ולכתך בדרך ושוכבך ובקומך ושעתם ליצל ידיך והיו לצוצבות בין עיניך וטפתם על מזוזות בידיך ובשעריך לילה
Early in the morning on the 25th day of the 9th month, which is the month of Kislev, in the 148th years, they rose and offered sacrifices in accordance with the Torah on the new altar of burnt offering that they had built. At the very season and on the very day that the pagans had profaned it, it was dedicated with songs and harps and lutes and cymbals. All the people fell on their faces and worshipped and praised God, who had given them strength to succeed. So they celebrated the dedication of the altar for 8 days, and there was great joy amongst the people.
Let us read together. Adonai Sabatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagi Tehillah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Eloheinu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומעיד גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומכה. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, וחיי משימתך להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל.
Then Judah the Maccabee and his followers returned, and with the help of God's guidance, recaptured the temple and the city. It happened that on the same day on which the sanctuary had been profaned by the foreigners, the purification of the sanctuary took place. That is, on the 25th day of the same month, which was Kislev. They celebrated it for 8 days with rejoicing, in the manner of the festival of Sukkot, remembering how not long before, during the festival of Sukkot, they had been wandering in the mountains like wild animals. By common consent, they voted and decided that the whole Jewish people should celebrate these days every year.
What? Thank you. That was for me, wasn't it? What is Hanukkah? Our sages taught Hanukkah begins on the 25th day of Kislev and lasts for 8 days, during which there shall be neither mourning nor fasting. For when the Greeks entered the temple, they defied all the oil stored there. And when the Hasmonean dynasty gained the upper hand and defeated them, they found only one cruse of oil with the seal of the high priest still left, and it contained sufficient oil only for 1 day. But by a miracle, when they kindled the lamp with it, it lasted for 8 days. The following year, these days were declared a festival with psalms of praise and thanksgiving. Thank you.
Eleazar, one of the scribes in high position, a man advanced in age and of noble presence, was being forced to open his mouth to eat swine's flesh. Those who were in charge of that unlawful sacrifice took the man aside because of their long acquaintance with him, and privately urged him to bring meat of his own providing, proper for him to use, and to pretend that he was eating the flesh of the sacrificial meal that had been commanded by the king. Such pretense is not worthy of our time, he said, for many of the young might suppose that Eleazar in his 90th year had gone over to an alien religion. Therefore, by bravely giving up my life now, I will show myself worthy of my old age and leave to the young an example of how to die willingly and nobly for the excellent and holy Torah.
Oh, say shalom b'romav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Say shalom b'romav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Oh, say shalom b'romav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael.
Yaseh shalom,
Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael,
Yaseh shalom,
Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael.
Hello, and welcome to something completely different. That's how Simon titled the introduction in the first rock service Siddur. Never one for convention, Simon was determined to produce something out of the ordinary, to engage with people, perhaps who felt there was room for a little more inclusion. Simon was blessed with musical talent, a brilliant drummer, great guitarist, good bass player, rubbish pianist. He was, however, dogged by ill health. The music in him gave a real sense of purpose, and when he did something musically, he really did it. I think we can all vouch for that. In 2009, He played here with a party band for an Israeli Independent Day party, which included some traditional songs which had been really rocked up. They were hits with all ages with the party goers. I have an idea. I'm going to create a rock service. Yes, that's right, a rock service. He started work on the project, wrote and arranged the parts, recorded the tracks, and put a band together. He did the design work and marketing. However, health issues slowed things down. Then on the 17th of August, 2012, he had a double lung transplant, having had in 1999, by the way, a liver transplant. Unperturbed, he played a gig 100 days later and completed the rock service material for the first service to take place here, in this shul, on the 13th of April 2013. Designed as a one-off request from other shuls for us to play, he came in and we were delighted to be part of those services. At the beginning of 2016, Simon started to experience some major health implications, and he passed away on the 10th of July. We decided the greatest respect we could pay Simon would be to continue the rock service in his name. We were part of an online service during the pandemic and have played live since then. The perfect legacy to Simon. The service must go on. We remember him when we rehearse and play. We remembered his dogged determination despite some incredible obstacles to complete projects. In 10 days' time, Simon would have celebrated his 40th birthday. He packed in a very full life in 33 short years. He would have been proud of his legacy of bringing happiness through his music. The Simon Cooper Foundation raises funds to provide equipment to hospices and specialist care centres for people with life-limiting conditions so that they may live life as well as possible during their final days. And in fact, 6 weeks before Simon passed away, he did a gig in this very shul. Simon never wasted a day, brought a lot of pleasure to people, and now through his foundation delivers comfort to those in need. Simon Cooper. A life well lived and a memory never forgotten.
A hand above the water, an angel reaching for the sky. Is it raining in heaven? Do you want us to cry? And everywhere the broken-hearted, on every lonely avenue, no one could reach them, no one but you. One by one, only the good die young. They're only flying too close to the sun, and life goes on without you. Another tricky situation. I get to drowning in the blues, and I find myself thinking, well, what would you do? Oh yeah, with such an operation, forever paying every due. You made a sensation. You found a way through. One by one, only the good die young. They only flying too close to the sun, and we'll remember forever. And now the party must be over. I guess we'll never understand the sense of your leaving. Was it the way it was planned? And so we grace another table and raise our glasses one more time. There's a face at the window, and I ain't never saying goodbye. No, one by one, only the good die young. They're only flying too close to the sun, crying for nothing, crying for no one, no one but you.
We're preparing now to recite the Kaddish. And you've heard me sometimes say that the Kaddish doesn't talk about death, it talks about life. And we're all born and none of us remember it. And we will all die, but unlikely to return to report about it. But in between is this wonderful journey called life. It can be long, it can be short, it can be too long, too short, it can be joyous or troubled, or usually a mixture of both. But the important thing is what we do with our lives. We never know. The tradition says there's 120. Many of us don't get to 120, but it's what we do with the 40 years that makes life so important. And we pause for a moment to think, particularly what you've just told us about Simon, whom some of us knew very well. Proud that we are the hosts of his music and that we can still hear his voice through members of his family and those who are closest to him. And he's one of our local heroes. Hanukkah is about heroes. And heroes are not only in the history far away. They're not only in the time of the Maccabees. They're not even only in the time of the Shoah. I'm going to read something from Hanukkah. But heroes walk the earth every day. And we're very privileged if we meet one of them. And in Simon, you met your hero, who's become our hero. And we thank you for the privilege, even though we know it's painful, the privilege of sharing this evening with us, all of you. Am I going to lead us in the Kaddish, or are you going to lead it? So I'm going to ask you to stand as we reflect for a moment on Hannah Senesh, a heroine from the Shoah who said this: "Blessed is the match that is consumed in kindling flame. Blessed is the flame that burns in the heart's secret places. Blessed is the heart with strength to stop its beating for honor's sake. Blessed is the match that is consumed in kindling flame." May the heroic example of the Maccabees and our heroes of today inspire us always to be loyal to our heritage and valiant for truth. Let the lights we and they kindle shine forth for the world to see and hear. May the message they proclaim help to dispel the darkness of prejudice and hatred and spread the light of liberty and love. We recite together. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabba b'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael b'agalav izman kariv v'rimru Yehi shemei rabba mavrach l'olam u'lalmei almaya Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'a v'yitromam v'yitnasei v'yithadav v'yitalev talal shemei dekudesha barichu Leila min kol bechata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechamata, ta'amiran b'alma v'moru, Yehi shalom araba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'moru, Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol b'nei adam, v'moru, Amen. May great peace descend from heaven, and abundant life be granted to us, to all Israel, and to all the peoples of the world. And let us say, Amen.
Light a candle for Hanukkah. Let the candles glow. Light a candle, bring the light of joy to those you know. Lest the candles, oh so bright, on these very special nights, Fatzivanu lechalikneu shed lechanukkah. Light a candle for Hanukkah, let the candles glow. Light a candle, bring the light of joy to those you know. Lest the candles, oh so bright, on these very special nights, Fatzivanu lechalikneu shelech Hanukkah. Light another candle, let the candle shine. The Maccabees have shown us miracles are yours and mine. What a very pretty sight. We'll light candles for 8 nights. Fatzivanu lechalikneu shelech Hanukkah. You gotta help everybody. Light a candle for Hanukkah. Come on. Light a candle for Hanukkah. And again. Light a candle for Hanukkah. 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 Light a candle for Hanukkah.
What a great start to Hanukkah. Thank you very much indeed. Wonderful. Our privilege to host you. We've been joined by TLSC, the Liberal Synagogue in Elstree, and also marking Liberal Judaism's 120 years. May you still be here in another 120 years. Ad Maya Esrim for 120. And 2 more. You've got to wait a little later for your lighting. Can we light the candles first? Okay, and then we're going to have 2 more after that. Are you going to lead the lighting of the candles, or am I? All right, then. I was told that I'm in the wrong tune. You're on page unnumbered, page light a candle. So you should light your shamash, your servant candle now, as we sing Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של חנוכה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשה ניסים לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. And because this is such a special night and the first night, can you do a Shechianu? You want me to do it? Okay. They're gluttons for punishment. Oh, Emma, you want to do it? Lead it with me? Come. Might as well get the family working, might we?
How does it start?
However you want to start.
Is it that one?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
ישועתי לך נועל לשבח תיקום בית תפילתי ושם תודה נזבח אין תכין מטבח מצחם נבח אז אגמר בשיר מזמור חנוכת המזבח. So Yeshuati Lechana El Shabbeach Tikon Beit Tefilati V'sham Toda L'Sabeach V'yatachim B'Veach Mitzocham Nabeach Az Egmor V'shir Mizmor Chanukat HaMizbeach. So Yeshuati L'chana El Shabbeach Tikol Beit Tefilasi V'sham Toda L'Sabeach Ein Tachim Matbeach Mitzocham Nabeach Az Ekmar V'shir Mizmor Chanukat HaMizbeach Az Ekmar V'shir Mizmor Chanukat HaMizbeach. Adon Olam Hashem Olam بترم کالی سینی را ادون اولم لیش نصاب بخف سوکل از آی ملک شمونی را ادون اولم
أدون الله
ادون اولم
أشم الله
أشم الله
بترم
بترم کالی سینی را لیش نصاب بخف سوکل از آی ملک شمونی را بیاکاری جلوش کنکور لبارو یکم نرو ادون اولم بهو هویا بهو هومه بهو یفسیب فرا ادون اولم ادون اولم أشم الله بترم کالی سینی را لیش نصاب بخف سوکل از آی ملک شمونی را بهو اخات بین شینی لهم شلو لحفی را ادون اولم بیی ریشید بلی ساخلیز ولو هاز مهامیز را ادون اولم ادون اولم
أشم الله
أشم الله
بترم
کالی سینی را لیش نصاب بخف سوکل از آی ملک شمونی را B'chai goyli, b'tzuk ebli b'yesel adon olam. B'hu nisi, b'mon nosli, manos b'si b'yom ekro adon olam. Adon olam, Hashem olam, b'terem kol yisini kol. V'yesh nasam, b'chef sokol azay melech shemonik kol. V'yado, Akid Ruki, V'yesi Sham V'yati Ro Adon Olam, V'yim Ruki, G'viyoti, Adon Oli V'loi Ro Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Hashem Allah, B'terem kol yisini kol, V'yesh nasam, B'chef sokol azay melech shemonik kol. Adon Olam, Hashem Allah, B'terem kol yisini kol, Lish nasam, B'chef sokol azay melech shemonik kol, azay melech shemonik kol, azay melech shemonik kol.
Once again, thank you very much indeed. What a great evening we've had. Thank you to our tech team too, the performers here, our tech team there. Rochelle, who liaised with the band to get this off the ground and produced the booklet. To those of you involved with catering and setting everything up. This is a great community event, and thank you very much for a wonderful start to Hanukkah for our Friday night rock band. Really, it's our privilege. And I think food will be